I'm so sorry that I haven't gotten a video up in the past few weeks. Life has been hectic. I'm getting ready to graduate with my PharmD this weekend, and my parents are coming into town at the end of the week. So that's why I haven't gotten a video up as of late. But I am currently on my way back into the city. I just finished up a luncheon for Mother's Day. So I have about 2 hours. So I thought, why not bring my camera along and do some vlogging for you guys? And no, I am not driving. So on my last vlog, I talked a little bit about intuitive eating and some of my approaches to that. So today I want to focus on food and the mental mind fucks that it plays on your head. As most of you know, I struggled with anorexia, bulimia, and binge eating for most of my early 20s. And while I have been actively working towards recovery since then, to me, recovery is going to be a lifelong process. There are still, many areas that I struggle with. Some days you are doing great and you are in complete control of the food. And then other days you're like, what the F, man? What the F, brain? You feel like you haven't even been in recovery for one day. So I want to dive into some of the areas that I still currently struggle with, and some ways that I am able to kind of work to overcome those struggles when I'm feeling those thoughts. So these thoughts are most prevalent for me when I'm stressed or when I'm having a bad body image day. I like to be in control of every aspect of my life. And right now is a perfect example of a time where I am not. I am, like I said, getting ready to graduate on Saturday, and everybody keeps asking me, what are you doing after you graduate? And to be completely honest, I don't have a job lined up, and it scares the living daylights out of me. So, of course, the first, thing I turn to for control is food. When I was struggling with my eating disorder, the one thing that kept me going was that I was always in control of the food. And so that's something I've always struggled with since. So when I'm stressed, I always seem to obsess more about food because it's something that I feel like I can be in control of. So since right now I don't feel like I'm in control of every aspect of my life, I have found that I'm, obsessing more about food, and I'm having more of these disordered thoughts. And especially when I have a bad body image day, I really want to restrict more so that, I feel like that hunger in my stomach. It makes me feel like, I'm controlling what I'm putting into my body. I'm controlling how many calories I'm eating. These are the thoughts that I still struggle with. And these are the thoughts that when they come up, I'm like, why are you still thinking this way, Nicole? You're supposed to be recovered. And it goes along with today. Another area that I struggle with is going out to eat. So when I go out to eat, I can say I'm fine, but I feel like I wake up in the morning and I'm automatically just stressed. Perfect example. I told you guys that I just came from a luncheon for Mother's Day. So last night, I already started stressing. I wanted to go to the gym this morning so that I could work out. But I automatically knew that I wanted to go to the gym so that I could burn extra calories because I knew I was going to be going somewhere for lunch where I would have no idea what the calories were. And then this morning, I found myself wanting to hold off on eating breakfast so that I could, savor as many calories as I could. I thought, if I eat later, then I'll have more calories for lunch, and then more calories for dinner that night. So these are, again, the disordered thoughts that, play out in my head, and that I have to continue to fight through every single time I'm stressed or every single time that I go out to eat. But it's okay. It's okay to not be okay, And it's okay to still struggle, even if it's for the rest of my damn life. I know that I am making progress every time that I overcome one of these thoughts. So I bet you guys are wondering how the luncheon went today. So I got there and I was, prepared. I had felt good because I hadn't given in to any of these disordered thoughts that I had been having over the last 24 hours. Well, I got there, you guys, and it was a buffet. So I instantly felt overwhelmed, and I was just, I felt like I was about to cry, and I was almost about to not eat. And that's when I took myself into a corner, and I just kind of breathed. And I remember just talking myself through it. I told myself, Nicole, this is food. You are not your thoughts. And I just kind of calmed down. Normally how I handle going out to eat is I pick something off the menu that I really, really, am craving, but I make sure that it's healthy, because for me, that's how I handle going out to eat, is eating healthy. It's just like my lifestyle, and it's the way that I enjoy eating. If you enjoy going out to eat and splurging on a cheeseburger and french fries, then go for it. You have to do what works for you. So I looked at the buffet and I just kind of picked out some healthy options. The chicken breast was stuffed, but for me, I just ended up taking the stuffing out and eating the chicken breast. And I picked out some veggies and, some bread, some fruit, just, a little bit of everything, what I was craving, but what I knew was going to make me feel good, what wasn't going to make me feel bad after. So, another area on that topic that I struggle with is binge eating thoughts. Now, after this meal, as you can see, I didn't eat, a ton of food. I'm a snacker. I like to, just kind of graze all day. So, another area that I used to struggle with is just restricting after. So if I was hungry in an hour, I would tell myself no. And this would just lead me to obsessing more, again, about food. And I would most likely go home and probably just binge on everything because A, I didn't know how many calories I'd eaten that day, and B, I hadn't honored my hunger earlier in the day. So that is one of my first ways that I overcome some of these damn disordered thoughts in my head. After the meal, don't restrict. I promise you, I know you're gonna want to, but that's the worst thing that you can do. If you just honor your hunger, even if you're hungry 30 minutes after you flip and just ate, you're gonna eat, and then I promise you're just gonna kind of forget about food. Maybe for another few hours. So, when these thoughts come into your head, I don't care if it's right before you eat, the morning of when you're going to go out to eat later, I want you to check in with yourself throughout the day. That's probably my number one piece of advice. Whether you journal, whether you're just driving and you're how are you doing? Or if you have somebody a friend or a family member that you can kind of just check in with, just kind of talk about how you're feeling, the thoughts that you're struggling with, And then when you get to the meal, I think it's really important that you especially check in with yourself. And if you can, if you can confide in somebody at that meal, just to, again, ask how you're doing and, reassure that you're just feeling good and you're not feeling pressure during that meal. That's probably my number one piece of advice. My second piece of advice is please do not use fitness as a form of punishment. I know that I still struggle with that. I know that I still want to go to the gym and sometimes, burn off extra calories for that meal I'm going to eat later. But every time I have those thoughts, I remind myself what a blessing it is to be able to move my body. You know, I remind myself that I work out because it is what makes me feel so good. And I remind myself that my body still needs food regardless of whether I work out or not. And those are kind of some of the ways that I mentally kind of, you know, work through these thoughts. And I know it probably seems scary that I've been in recovery now for, you know, 5 or 6 years and I still like have these thoughts, but you know, it's okay. We're human. And I promise you that every year that goes by, I can look back and say, wow, Nicole, you have come so much farther than even just, you know, 6 months ago. And I'm kind of excited now to like see where I am 6 months from now. So I hope this helps somewhat. And I apologize that like the camera has been all shaky this whole time. I like literally have my camera hanging from the rearview mirror. But hey, it worked. And I survived that luncheon today. And I feel so good right now. I'm about to go shopping, and go figure, it's been probably about like an hour and a half since I ate, and I'm already kind of hungry. So you know what? I'll probably eat. There's a Starbucks here. I'll probably get some Starbucks. But that's all for now. And again, please subscribe, like, and comment below what you guys thought about this video. And please let me know if there's any other topics that I can vlog about. I love you all so much, and your continued support means the world.